Hi everyone, welcome back to Aspergers from the Inside. You're here with Paul. So this week I've been thinking a lot about friends and friendship in general, and the difference between online friends and relationships online versus real life face-to-face type relationships. And in my recollection, there's definitely a place for both, and that's one of the reasons why I do a lot of online work, because you can reach a lot more people, and it's easier to find people similar to yourself with a bigger pool online. But that said, there's just absolutely no substitute for people you actually know in real life that you can call up and meet up with face to face, even if that's not very often. So one of the questions that people ask me all the time is, I think I might be on the spectrum. How do I go about finding out? And one of the pieces of advice that I always give is, if you want to get a feel for if you fit in and if you're on the spectrum yourself, one thing that really helps is going out and meeting other people on the spectrum, because especially, and I share this from my journey, that was a massive turning point for me when I was in a room full of other Aspies, and then I was like, wow, there's something really different about this space. What is it that kind of binds us together, even though we're all so different from each other? So the next obvious question is, well, how do I go about doing that? So a couple of the things that I've done online is things like the Aspie interviews, things like sharing diagnosis stories, and that's great because you get to read or hear about someone else's story and see if it resonates. But again, it's not really the same as actually meeting up in real life. So that's why this week I've decided to put on and host an actual in-person meetup in Melbourne here in Australia. So it's the first one that I've hosted, and I'm kind of fingers crossed hoping that there'll be enough interest to repeat this or similar events on a semi-regular basis next year, just because it can be really hard to make friends sometimes. And sometimes friendship and friendship groups are based on common interests or common activities that you do together. And I don't know about you, but it's not always easy to find people with similar interests to me that are also in my location, that also have free time when I have free time, and all that kind of things. So I personally find that if we have a group of others on the spectrum and we all meet up, then we are likely to have quite different interests, but we're all very interesting people, just as human beings. I haven't met anyone on the spectrum who's been a little bit boring. I've met plenty of neurotypicals, and I've come away from the conversation thinking, you're a little bit boring. Probably just because I didn't share their interests, because their interests were probably more stereotypical pop culture kind of interests, like, TV and sport and things like that. But I'm digressing a little bit. The point is, would you like to meet in person? If you live in Melbourne, in my city, I have arranged this meetup this weekend. You're probably watching this video after that's finished, but that's okay. If there's enough interest, I'm hoping to start something on a semi-regular basis. And if you would like to start something in your own city, I would encourage you to do it. It's actually not that hard. Things like meetup.com or other groups. If you would like me to help by posting something on the Facebook page and asking if others in your city are interested, feel free to ask me about that. I'm happy to help out where I can, because I really think meeting in real life makes a massive difference to your social network, and you just never know who you're going to meet, and it's always fun to meet others on the spectrum. So I might leave it there. If you're keen to meet in person, then check out the Facebook page, Aspergers from the Inside, to see if there's any events coming up. Hopefully there are. I hope this meetup on Sunday goes really well, and that we can continue it into the future. So yeah, thanks. Bye.